Alright guys, we are going to start with our second lesson in our type, color, and layout lessons for your portfolio project. So let's go ahead and get going with color. Boom. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about with color is let's start thinking about our emotions, because when we look at colors, we feel something, right? Think about some of the things that you consume on a daily basis, whether that be social media, whether that be certain things that you are watching, YouTube videos. And what are some of the colors that are in those videos or in the media that you consume? And what do you feel when you see that, right? Here's another prompt for you. Think about your favorite color, okay? For example, my favorite color is gold. And no, it's not the shiny gold that you see in actual gold pieces. When I think of the gold color, I think of sunflowers, I think of sunsets, I think of warmth and happiness, and it takes me back to growing up out in the farm in Iowa. So it's kind of close to this color-ish. This is more of an orangey tint to it. So think about your favorite color and how does it make you feel, right? Now, you want the same thing for whoever is going to consume your media, whether you're creating a design, whether you're creating a typeface, a graphic, maybe you're actually creating the theme for the yearbook, right? We want to think about psychology and how our readers are going to think and feel when they consume our product. If you look at the yearbook this year, our colors are blues, right, with some black and gray and white as well. And what do we want our readers to feel when they look at that book? From 20 years from now, when we're looking at the yearbook, I'm almost hitting close to my 10-year graduation reunion for high school. I mean, looking at the books that were created 10 years ago, it definitely takes me back to a certain time. And you know, with the colors we're using this year, the blues, we're going off of the new mascot and the new colors. What are you going to feel when you see that book, even compared with the book before it? What is the difference? What stands out to you? Some things that we want to keep in mind as a graphic designer are the color wheel, okay? This is the color wheel. The color wheel is all of the colors put together that we can see, right? It does not really include black and white. The color wheel is composed of primary colors, secondary colors, and the mix of those two, tertiary colors, okay? All of these colors, when they are paired with primary, if they're paired with secondary, and the tertiary, tend to all be visually pleasing together. And when we talk about certain colors, there's different kind of ways that we can make a certain person feel when we're working with color relationships. One of the first color relationships, and one of the ones we're using this year in the book, is monochromatic. So taking one color and using variations of shades and tints and tones of that color, right? So for example, I've been seeing a lot of fashion lately that talks about having a monochromatic look. So taking a brown blazer and pairing it with maybe some kind of pants that have a brown or maybe have a tan to them with a dark brown belt and maybe a white shirt, right? And having a monochromatic feel to it. Maybe when you're looking at interior design, maybe you've heard maybe your parents or someone talk about monochromatic shades in interior design as well, okay? The next one is analogous, right? So that would be this right here, taking a color and the shade right next to it on the wheel and pairing them together. Okay, this also looks really great, and this is something that you could give an argument to of what we're doing in the book by having our dark navy blue and our light blue as well. And then you have complementary colors. So complementary colors are taking one color and going straight across the color wheel and using its exact opposite, right? So if we're looking at red and green, well, we automatically think of Christmas, right? There's some others like this as well, and start to think about what could potentially be complementary colors if you're looking at this color wheel, okay? And then you have triadic, which are three colors that are equally spaced on the wheel. So if you're looking at the color wheel like this, you would want to use these three colors together. You could also kind of pair it this way and pair it this way as well. So start to kind of think about those things and what you can do as far as colors. If you are just kind of trying to challenge yourself with design, especially as a beginner designer, I would try to only use 3 colors and see how you can use those 3 colors in different ways in your design. Try not to use any more and only use those 3. What can you come up with and how can you be creative with it? With our book, Katie kind of put this graphic together, which is great, showcasing we are only actually using 5 colors in our book, right? We can use different hues and shades within these blues, but we do only use the black, the white, and the gray. And then we use the navy when we're looking at some other kind of design elements as well. But being consistent with our colors is going to be memorable in our book. And then also it's going to add a repetition in the book as well. So there's nothing out of place. And when we do have a wow spread, maybe an all black background or some kind of other color or big graphics or big type, it's really going to stand out against the consistency that we have created. Okay? Also keep in mind that color represents the times, all right? So I talked about this when I first kind of mentioned colors at the beginning, but really do think about the color in your clothes, music videos, any kind of products you consume, and how do they make you feel and what kind of energy do they give off, okay? So really the important thing is that whenever we're working with color, we want to see what we can do to make our consumer feel something, right? Okay. That is a little bit about color, and hopefully that is going to help you with this portfolio project.